Buenas noches.
Buenos dias, señorita.
Exactly. I'll try and get the podcast just like my dumps, mate, as regular as clockwork.
So much fun. On that note,
quality. Is that you trying to pump the Skype tune again, mate?
It pretty much was, aye.
Quality.
It was just the normal do,
Mm-hmm.
but now it's got a mad beat to it now, so it's like do.
That's quite impressive, actually, mate.
Did I say his name there, Derek McInnes?
Yeah, he did, aye.
I wasn't listening to myself there.
As long as you didn't say your name.
Hi folks, and welcome to the next episode of the iReady podcast. As ever, I'm your host Derek, and with me is my co-host Dave.
Good evening, Derek. How are you?
Not bad. Yourself, sir?
Very well, mate. Very well.
Excellent. We're not doing this pod together this time. We are sitting in our respective homes in the Scud.
I'm like, I wouldn't say I was in the Scud, but you'll certainly be able to hear me pass wind like that.
I don't know what was too much more information.
I think it's that dodgy Pepsi Max that's doing it, actually.
It's always Pepsi Max, but not that we're sponsored by them or anything like that.
No, listen, the stuff that I've got is definitely no Pepsi Max. It's a supermarket's own brand, and it's absolutely rank. But it's the only sort of juice that I've got in the house at the moment, so I'll have to do.
Never mind CJ Novo's sponsor breaks in his podcast. We just do it on the fly there. So
exactly, aye. But we didn't get any money for it.
No,
exactly, that's the only thing. We didn't even get a free can of juice out of it.
Well, you get a really cheap one from the own brand one. Anyway.
Definitely.
The one question I've got to ask you, Dave, though, is: are you a Rangers supporter?
Well, you took the words right out of my mouth, Derek. But to be honest with you, you've not had a go at me yet, so I'll wait until you question anything that I say or have a go before. But I want to say as well, on that note, Baz Bowski's video, absolutely fucking hilarious. I honestly was wetting myself laughing when I seen it. So tremendous stuff. If you've not seen it, just go on. You'll get it on YouTube. It'll be under "Are You a Rangers Supporter?" or Baz Bowski. It's absolutely fantastic.
You're watching the Gay Network.
Are you a Rangers supporter?
We'll obviously get into that later, but firstly we will go down the tunnel and onto the pitch.
Yes, first time.
Well, we're not going to really start the podcast because I'm choking.
You alright, mate? You need a wee glass of water there?
A glass of Pepsi Max. Yes, we're not really going to speak much about the games because obviously the more pressing issue which happened a few weeks ago now is we are once again managerless.
Yes.
So, as we all know by now, Pedro Caixinha got the boot just after the Killie game, the one each draw there. Kind of the preamble before it, obviously he was under pressure straight away, and we found out that Lee Wallace, Kenny Miller and Nico Cranshaw were told to stay away from Ibrox for that game, so a bit strange there. And weirdly as well, it was Helder Baptista that was actually taking the team because because Caixinha accepted the 1 game ban from the Motherwell game. So we got a draw in that game, and the board acted rather swiftly, had an emergency meeting the next day, and by about 5 o'clock he was gone.
Yeah, I think the writing's been on the wall for a wee while, Derek. I think we've all suspected it. We all wanted him to do well, but it was as time was going on, we could all see that it was going to happen, unfortunately. And as you say, I think the Kilmarnock game was the final straw.
Yeah, I mean, I did say in the last pod as well that I think, he's gone if we don't get a result in Killie.
Yeah.
I was proved right there, so kudos for me for that one.
Nothing like blowing your own trumpet, eh?
Somebody's got to blow something in. So obviously disappointing. We backed them to the hilt as it were, but I think it was in the end probably the right decision. Reluctantly, but probably the right decision. There's probably, you don't get two people wanting them to do well more than me and Dave on that one, but as time went on, as you said, it was just quite clear that something needed to change, and the players certainly weren't going to, and obviously the issue seemed to be him.
I think that was the sort of overall feeling of the vast majority of the fans, Derek, as we did all want him to do well. He came across very well. We were desperate for him to succeed. We couldn't really say a bad thing about the guy, but it just wasn't working, and we all know that the media had their daggers out for him from the very beginning, so it didn't go his way, and at the end we all feared it for quite some time. We all thought it was going to be a gamble. Maybe a lot of it was unlucky as well with certain things that happened, but I don't think that we could afford to let any more points slip before it was we were really really far behind sort of Aberdeen and Celtic. So so he's gone. I don't know what your feelings are now, Derek. Me and you have had loads and loads of text messages about who we think we should be going for and who the board should be going for or whatever, but I don't know what your feelings are for what's next, Derek.
Well, obviously Graeme Murty has taken control of the team on a temporary basis just now, like he done when Warburton left, and so far he's got 2 victories out of that. He's been certainly he looks a lot more confident than he did the first time. He speaks an incredibly good game, I think, as well. I'll get into my thoughts about him in a wee bit, but just a list of some of the names that have been touted. Obviously Derek McInnes, according to certain fans and the media for some reason, he's the hot favourite to get it. Alan Pardew, Sam Allardyce, Michael O'Neill, Kenny Miller, of an exceptionally strange one.
Yeah, I've heard that one as well, yeah.
Steve McLaren, Davy Moyes, Michael Prudhomme, Angie Postolaku, I think that's how you pronounce his name, the Australian boss.
And Angie posted a coup. I've never heard of him.
He might have done, I don't know. Giovanni Van Bronckhorst, Frank de Boer, which apparently Ronald has said any big club that comes in for him, it'll be certainly it'll be hard to turn down. And Paul fucking Lambert.
Aye, well, I think you can rule out the last one there straight away. I think we're being linked to basically everybody under the sun there, Derek. It's the media don't have a clue what's going on, the fans don't have a clue what's going on, and going by some of it's very, very quiet from the club as well. We're being told one thing and then we're being told again, with statements that they've spoke to anyone yet, so it's hard to know exactly what is going on at the moment. But I don't know what your thoughts are. I don't know if who your first choice would be, if it were if it's any of them that's on that list, or if it would be somebody else.
I mean, one thing is I've got my reservations about certain people, but don't get me wrong. Whatever manager comes in, they're going to be backed by me. Yeah. I've said in jest a few times, if it's Derek McInnes, somebody else can have my season ticket. But obviously, I'll back the manager, and you back the team. That's what you do. Derek McInnes certainly not my first choice, like the media are portraying. I don't know why some fans are saying he would be amazing at the job, or certainly would be good at the job. There's nothing to me that says that he's, a top-notch name or anything. Alan Pardew, Sam Allardyce, too much baggage, I think. Interesting one, Michael O'Neill. Certainly he's done brilliantly at at the Northern Ireland job. He's had stints in club management as well. Whether he would want to come or stay, I don't know.
I have a feeling that SFA have got their eye on him, Derek, to be the new Scotland manager. Maybe I'm wrong, but just with everything that I've read about in the media, the fact that he actually stays in Scotland as well, I've got a feeling that they might try and pull out all the stops to get him. And if he does for Scotland what he's done for Northern Ireland, then incredible. But I definitely think he's more suited for international management. But again, what do I know? He would maybe be fantastic, but that's just the sort of feeling that I have.
Yeah. Kenny Miller, you can throw that out the window straight away. Steve McLaren, he's bottled at every opportunity, I think. Yep. And as I've said on Twitter, how long would it be before he's having a Glaswegian accent? Davy Moyes obviously just taking the West Ham job.
Yes, that's
out. Mm-hmm. Obviously, as soon as Bilic got sacked, he was getting linked with the job as well, and the media were pulling out his quotes from before he even joined West Ham about he would walk to Glasgow. Michel Prudhomme?
Michel Prudhomme, ex-goalkeeper, Belgian goalkeeper.
Any fan, I think, would be lying if they said that they knew who he was before the papers picked that up, or certainly very few fans.
I do know who he is because he was a fantastic goalkeeper and he played, World Cup for Belgium and stuff like that. But I only remember him because of my Panini sticker albums, Derek. But I do know who he is.
Ange Postecoglou.
I have no idea who he is at all.
Australian boss. I don't know. Van Bronckhorst for me would be fantastic. I think he's a proven manager. However, he's not long into his tenure at Feyenoord, so I don't think he would come. Frank de Boer, a very interesting one, obviously great at Ajax. You can't really count his time at Inter because he only had 14 games. You certainly can't count his time at Crystal Palace for only having 4 games. Potential risk on that one there. Paul Lambert, again, it says... I wrote down Paul fucking Lambert here, so yeah.
I think what you've got to look at, Derek, is to try and sort of tick all the boxes. We want someone who has played for the club that knows what it's all about. We want someone who has been, he's been there, seen it and done it, as in he's not just played for Rangers, he's played top level European football, he's played for some of the top clubs, he's worked with some of the top coaches in the world, he's also played at a very high level internationally and won internationally as well, and again worked with some of the top coaches. He knows what it's like, the pressure, and also somebody that's got experience in management and done well. And as you say, all those boxes are ticked, in my opinion, by both Van Bronckhorst and De Boer. And I know, as you said, De Boer's had a bit of a disaster with his last 2, but when it comes to their playing careers, they've basically done it all, and they've worked, as I say, with all the top managers out there and coaches. So you'd like to think that they've learnt a lot throughout the years, and certainly Van Bronckhorst has been excellent for Feyenoord in the short space of time he's been there, and De Boer I just think's been unlucky. So either one of those two I would be pleased with. Again, I don't know how much money they would have to pay to get Van Bronckhorst, but surely De Boer, who's now not with anyone, could possibly be the cheaper option, just depending what it would be like on wages. But if he wants to get any credibility back, he would maybe find that he would come and take the job at Rangers, knowing how big a club it was, and try to get his reputation back as being a really good manager. So
I mean, I think in the first time when we were looking for a manager, when Warburton left, I think most fans would have at that time bit your hand off to get Frank de Boer in. So obviously 4 games at Crystal Palace is the only thing that's changed. So
that's right.
The one that's kind of not been mentioned very much, and whether I don't know, I think he's done fairly well in his management career, is Michael Laudrup.
I don't know who is he with at the moment, Derek. I would be lying if I told you, if I knew.
Currently in Qatar.
Right, okay.
So
again for me, I think he really needs someone who's got a bit of a knowledge of the game in Scotland, so someone that's played for us and done well for us as well, and he's, that would be a big risk for me. And as I keep saying, that the only ones out of that really tick all the boxes for me are, the two that I mentioned before. But like you, with Derek McInnes, he's done a great job with Aberdeen on a shoestring budget, but I don't know if that's the heights that McInnes will reach or not. And it really sticks in my throat that we would have to give Aberdeen a fairly large compensation package to get him away from there. That would really, and I think it sticks in a lot of Rangers fans' throats as well, that we would have to give Aberdeen basically a lot of money just for a manager. And if they're talking, and I know it's just media speculation, Derek, but they're talking in anything up to £800,000. £800,000 is a hell of a lot of money for Aberdeen, a hell of a lot. And considering that they're one of, they're going to be one of your main challengers in the league, that's a lot of money that we're handing them, for the manager. So it really does stick in my throat that we would have to do that, and maybe that's another reason why I'm not that keen on us getting McInnes. I don't know. But
at the same time, can you imagine taking their captain and taking their manager in the same season?
I know. But again, me and you have went over that before with the whole thing with McLean. We've got so many midfielders, it's unbelievable. So do we really need them? But that's a story for another day.
I was talking about Jack, to be honest. But
oh, sorry, I thought you were talking about their player just now that we're linked with, because he's no signing a new contract. But
two captains in the back. Obviously, you mentioned about we're hearing nothing from the club. They did release a statement, their usual Friday night statements, and it kind of riled fans up a bit. It certainly never riled me up, to be honest. It was clear and concise. I think fans, as usual, with no patience, or certainly most fans have no patience. Maybe not a criticism, but I think fans sometimes need to take a step back and realise where we kind of are in the footballing game now. We can't, if anybody is basing, Rangers and the Scottish game on what West Ham can do, sack a manager one day and have his replacement in the next day, you've got to remember they're dealing on just astronomical levels of money. That sacking of Bilic was probably worth maybe upwards of 5 million, maybe more, and to bring obviously Moyes in would have been nothing, but for him to be already there, it shows you, that they're able to just deal with things instantly because they've got money. We don't have that luxury.
Do you think that there was any need for the club to bring that statement out?
Put it this way, they're damned if they do and they're damned if they not, because there was fans clambering for information and they were getting on at the club, and for certainly not having any info coming out there. It had been 2 weeks since Caixinha was sacked, so they're damned if they do, they're damned if they don't. I don't know where to go with that in terms of the fans' expectations as well. I mean, it came out saying they're quite happily accepting CVs and they're going to see what happens towards the end of this week. Now, fans got riled up by that because we're Rangers, that we should be headhunting. Well, go and give me a manager that you'd be quite happy to go and headhunt then, and you then go and tell me how much money that would be to get that manager.
Well, I think, as I say, certainly the way that me and you were talking, the only one that that I would like us to go for would be Van Bronckhorst, if that was the case, if they were going to go. As said, De Boer's out of the job just now, but I still get the feeling, Derek, and maybe I'm just being an optimist here, I get the feeling that we are waiting, and we're waiting on a specific time before they actually make a move. And I think we could be waiting another few weeks, and I just get a feeling that, and again, maybe it's just me hoping that it's going to be Van Bronckhorst, but I don't think that Van Bronckhorst would leave Feyenoord while they're still playing in the Champions League. And I don't think they're doing very well in the Champions League, so maybe it's a matter that they've maybe have made an approach to him and he said, look, I'm not doing anything until the Champions League games are finished, and then I might talk to you after that, if to see how it goes. It was maybe the fact that they were waiting on Michael O'Neill, like you said, waiting until the playoff game with Northern Ireland was out the road before they were going to make an approach. I just get the feeling that they're waiting on something, I'm quite happy because I think that Graeme Murty's doing a really good job at the moment. So I'm quite happy, if they did wait another, 3 or 4 weeks or whatever, because I think he's doing a good job, and I think for him as well, he's not really got. He's quite relaxed, I think, about his management, the new Murty, because he knows he's not going to get it on a full-time basis, so he's able to go out and do what he wants to do, and the players are responding to that, I think. So I'm not overly concerned about us. We need to bring in a manager, right now, because we're struggling, because we're actually playing quite well. So.
Well, bearing in mind it was against, and we'll get into shortly the games in a minute, but it was against a fairly poor both Partick and Hearts side. But yeah, he's got that team playing for themselves now. And like you, I'll be quite happy to see at least till maybe the end of the maybe the transfer window. I don't know.
Yes,
but there's a lot of fans that wouldn't like that for him to be in charge. I've had a few back and forwards with mates, the fact that they're saying he's not a manager, he's an under-20s coach and all that kind of thing. But you look at where Walter Smith was when his experience when he became the Rangers manager. He was the assistant to Scotland, I think he was. He was the assistant to Souness. But Murty's had experience managing the first team. Fair enough, it's on being a caretaker role, and he is the under-20s coach. So he's got that limit. He's got that almost the same level of experience Walter Smith did. So
I haven't actually seen any criticism at all for Murty, Derek, and I've not seen any criticism whatsoever where I've not seen anybody on social media or spoke to anybody that says, no, we need to get this done as soon as possible. I mean, obviously you're different and you've had, you've been speaking to folk and they're thinking like that, but I honestly can't say that I've spoken to any Rangers fans out there who are saying, no, we need to get him out as soon as possible and bring in a new manager as soon as possible. I think everybody's sort of quietly comfortable with Murty being in charge at the moment, because I think, we look a lot more organised than we certainly have been recently, but again, only time's going to tell what's going to happen. But at this moment in time, I'm quite happy for Graeme Murty to be in charge, and it's maybe the sensible thing. Keep him in there, nothing flash, just well organised, winning games, and then take your time to get the right manager. It maybe is what they're going to do. Again, we'll just have to wait and see.
I think you look at, if he does go in the next couple of games, plays well, gets results, you turn that round and look at, he's taken now 2 completely separate teams that were in completely disarray, and he'll have turned them both around to winning teams. What does that say about the mentality of his workmanship there? I think that says it all for me. It's certainly worth considering. Maybe not a dead cert, but it's certainly worth considering.
Yeah.
I just want to go back one thing in terms of fans, in terms of headhunting. We should be headhunting. We are Rangers. They've got to take a step back and look at sometimes the reality of the situation you're in. The accounts we'll get into as well came out, or suffered a £6.7 million loss. We can't keep sustaining losses and the 3 Bears and Dave King bailing us out with soft loans. That's not going to happen. So you need to be mindful of that. And also in terms of we should be headhunting, they've never came out and said that, we're actively looking, but you don't normally show your hands like that.
Exactly.
And also who's to say that just because they've not said it, who's to say they're not doing it?
Yeah. It is the sort of sensible thing to, because if there is, let's just say, and I keep saying his name, Derek, I keep talking about Van Bronckhorst, who's in a job at the moment. I've said it there before, but you couldn't honestly come out, and say, oh, we're interested in Van Bronckhorst, because that would immediately, put him under the spotlight as well as his club at the moment, and it could be the same with Michael O'Neill as well, or anybody else that's in a job. So no, I do agree with you that way. It's you certainly wouldn't come out and say they've made an approach or they've been speaking to such and such. You keep all that very close to your chest.
Just kind of moving on for the manager there, I just want to kind of quickly go over the games. Wednesday the 25th of October, it was a 1-1 draw at home with Killy, which effectively got Caixinha the sack. Holt scored in the 44th. Ryan Jack, in a bizarre set of circumstances, got red carded in the 94th minute after Kirk Broadfoot, who will never be welcome back and never be cheered at Ibrox again, got him the red card. Jack reacted stupidly, mind you, but it's been since downgraded to a yellow card after the Vince Lunny, or whatever his fucking name is, downgraded it after video evidence. And then we got a penalty which should have wrapped the game up. However, we missed it and Kelly went up the park and scored in typical fashion, which seems to happen with us quite a bit. Saturday the 28th of October, it was a 3-1 win away to Hearts. It was Graeme Murty taking charge for his first game. Alves was banned for this game because his appeal got knocked back. That was obviously after the Motherwell game.
Playing in Murrayfield as well, Derek.
From all accounts, one of my mates was at the game. Fantastic experience.
It certainly looked good. It looked fantastic. I was desperate to go, but couldn't get. But certainly watching it, it looked as if it was a fantastic venue to have a game of football, and actually hoping that if they do scrap Hampden, then that's where it's going to be for the national team, because it's a fantastic stadium.
The only thing that annoyed me was, once again, the home team, or the proposed home team, couldn't even sell out their allocation yet. We were restricted to 14,000. Rangers could have probably sold that stadium out themselves. Given the option. So
I think we spoke about this in the last pod, though, when I was talking about the tickets, and it was possibly down to a policing issue, I think, Derek. So
unfortunately,
sorry for the away fans in anyway, but as you say, for the home fans to be playing there, it was a bit of a poor show that you can't fulfil it yourselves.
Yeah, certainly. Anyway, Lafferty scored a fantastic free kick on the 24th minute. Fair play to Lafferty, he never celebrated at all, but you can't take that away from him. It was a great free kick.
It was an absolute peach right in the top corner. Nothing that Wes could have done about that one. It was a absolutely fantastic goal, and as you say, bloody typical that it's like an ex-player that does it to us.
And then the man of the moment, I suppose you could say, Kenny Miller was drafted back into the squad as captain as well, after being exiled, and he scored in the 43rd and the 65th minute, 2 cracking goals, mind you.
It certainly was. Both goals were excellent. His first one took a slight deflection, but at the same time it was a great wee lift over the goalkeeper, and then his second one was a fantastic header from a great cross into the box. It was good stuff. It was kind of written in the stars, Derek, after everything that happened, that he would come on and he would play and he would score. But he was excellent in the game, and then had a huge part to play for the third goal as well.
Certainly played a great ball to Windass on the 72nd minute, and Windass slotted it under the keeper's legs, I think.
That's right. I just fired it past him. So it was a great goal, and for Windass, really struggling with form and confidence. So that'll do him the world of good.
Absolutely. Into the last game here, the last main game, was Saturday the 4th of November. It was a 3-0 win at home to Partick Thistle. Obviously the minute silence and the card display for Remembrance Sunday as well before, immaculately observed once again, as usual.
Superb, and the card display is impressive as ever, Derek.
And it was a big decision by Graeme Murty, because Alves was back for this game, but he decided to leave him out of this game. I think he was on the bench, and he had Ross McCrory still keeping the place in, and what a payoff and what a decision. Ross McCrory was fantastic. It's something that I watched the game back, and it never really picked up on how good he was in the game, but certainly being at the game, he was fantastic, winning everything, and he even scored his first goal on the 30th minute with an absolute fantastic header for a corner.
It was excellent. Absolutely tremendous for him. As you say, he's been brilliant. I mean, there's not been, and I'm looking for some wood to touch here. Touch wood. He's been.
I'm glad that was the wood you were touching.
But no, he's been excellent, Derek. Even going back to the Celtic game, when he played in the Celtic game, he was excellent in that as well. He really was. He wasn't at fault for anything. He looked really, really good. So so far he's been tremendous for us, and and testimony to him that he can keep Bruno Alves out of the team. It says it all. And to be fair also to Danny Wilson, I was about to say Scott Wilson there, my God, going back in time. To be fair to Danny Wilson, he's been excellent as well, Derek.
Yeah, certainly much improved. I mean, McCrory, man of the match performance as well for this, so can't take it away from him. But, certainly a long way to continue.
Yep.
On the 39th minute, 9 minutes later after McCrory scored, Candias put the ball in the back of the net, and then just after half time, Windass scores for the second game in a row on the 47th minute. And the game was rather drab after that. Nothing really much happened. Partick, I think, started to come back into the last 15 minutes. We made a sub to try and more contain them and not push forward, and they certainly had a lot more possession, and we really never put their keeper under pressure, but Wesley had a few saves to make. But well done for the shutout as well.
Yes, spot on.
We did have a bounce game on Thursday the 9th of November. Rangers were playing Man U, who came up to Auchenhowie, and it was Johansson that took charge. Herrera, Pena, Dalcio, Kranjčar, Alves and Nemanja all played, with Nemanja and Herrera getting on the score sheet, and it was a late equaliser from Man U as well. So.
All right, okay. I didn't even know that, Derek, so there you go.
And we are actually playing as well tomorrow, which will be today by the time the pod's out, Berwick Rangers in a testimonial for Berwick player Steve Notman.
All right.
That's a 1945 kick-off in Berwick, I believe. So. All
right. And is there going to be a number of the first team players there, do you think? The sort of guys that are on the perimeter of the team, like some of the players that played there, or is it going to be mostly the sort of under-20 team that's going to that?
I don't know. Traditionally they kind of have a mixture sometimes.
Mix it up, so, yeah.
We'll see what happens. It's not on TV or RTV, but I think you can go to the game if you're that way inclined in that area.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Certainly in the league anyway, we've played 12, won 7, drawn 3, lost 2, scored 27, conceded 13, goal difference plus 14 and points 24. Sitting in 4th place just now, 5 ahead of Motherwell, 9 points ahead of Hearts, plus we've got a game in hand against them, so we're certainly sitting pretty for going backwards anyway. We've got a wee comfortable gap there. We're only 1 point behind Hibs, and we've got a game in hand against them. We're only 3 behind Aberdeen. Obviously the 2 games to come, which we'll get into in a minute, and 6 points behind Celtic.
So for playing not particularly well, Derek, they're not, a wee sort of change in fortune for us could be putting us right back up, at least, into second place. So again, I'm being very optimistic here, but for not setting the heather on fire, we're still not that far behind.
Certainly not. I mean, you as well, and you go back to it. We've discussed it before. We've been cheated out of 5 points, and I'm not going to mince the words about that. We were cheated by referees out of 5 points there. So you look at that. We're sitting, potentially 1 point behind Celtic just now.
Yes.
So, it goes to show, was it really right to sack him? So,
well, I think it was maybe the home match as well against Hearts. The 0-0 game, Derek, and I know that Hearts parked the bus, but we were pretty dull and drab, and we only kind of showed some sparks of life. A couple of times in that game, it was pretty poor. Even games like that we shouldn't, really have won. As well as those, the games that you were talking about there that we've basically, were out of our hands because of very poor decisions by referees and such not. But I don't know. I think it was just the whole thing with Caixinha. I think it was just all building up against them, Derek. Everything was building against them, and I think he could maybe see that the team were starting to believe in what he was maybe trying to, guide them towards. And so I don't think that the board had much of an option, to be perfectly honest with you.
No, probably not. Anyway, games to come. We have got Saturday the 18th of November at home to Hamilton. I'll be at that game, and I'll be going for a few pints beforehand, so I'll certainly need to watch the game back again on the Sunday. Friday the 24th of November away to Dundee. It's a 19:45 kick-off. And then we've got probably the 2 big games of the season so far. Wednesday the 29th of November at home to Aberdeen, 19:45 kick-off.
I'll be there because I've got the tickets for me and the wee man, so I'll be at that game.
Excellent. And Sunday, the 3rd of December, the day before my birthday, we're away to Aberdeen, and that's a 12:30 kick-off.
Yeah.
So they're the two big games.
Yep.
It'll be interesting to see if we get our manager before the games, and especially if it's McInnes as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I've got a feeling that the McInnes thing isn't going to. I just can't see him being the manager, to be honest with you. But again, we'll wait and see. I think just one game at a time. If Rangers win against Hamilton on Saturday, then that's Murty won more games in the trot than what Pedro did. And if he was to go on, and as I say, I'm not getting too far ahead of ourselves, but if he was to even win the next 2 matches, and win 4 games in a row, I would be tempted to give him the 2 Aberdeen games as well in charge of the team, Derek.
Yeah, just need to wait and see what happens, I suppose. Don't
Yep.
we? Yep. Right, we will now go into the Blueroom. Right, a few things to cover here. Obviously, we've kind of alluded to it earlier on. The finances came out, and we have suffered a £6.7 million loss. Basically, the turnover's up, the income is up, but obviously we still made a loss. Now, in that, there was a £3 million cost to pay off Mike Ashley.
Yeah.
Income from the season tickets are up. However, obviously the retail profits with that deal now sorted out won't really start to show until next year. And even then, it's going to be a reduced rate because of all the confusion right up until the start of the year, start of the season, and obviously the new kits weren't out and they weren't available. So it's going to be probably 2 years before we see the full fruits of any deal they do get. Obviously as well, there is still continued heavy investment in the stadium and infrastructure, notably to the hospitality suites, the concourses and the fan zone. So when you look at that, you can take away the one-off cost to Ashley. There's down to a £3.7 million loss. I think the stadium's going to be an ongoing concern. However, as it gets developed and updated, then these costs will hopefully start to roll off, and you don't see them as much. So, apparently we're trading close to break even if you kind of take away some of these things. The board have obviously said that they're still going to need to put funding in, which has been secured with Dave King's company. So they're going to be providing the extra finance and getting traded in for effectively soft loans in place of shares when the share issue happens. So it's not great, but it's certainly again a step in the right direction because we've got Ashley off our back now.
Yes.
Hopefully the only way is up. Obviously we invested heavily in the squad, which I'm not too sure if that was included in that, but certainly we just need to wait and see and keep ploughing our money in as and when we can as fans.
Yeah.
And hopefully, the issues can get sorted out.
Hindsight's a great thing, Derek, but obviously looking back now, I think that the money, we still don't know what the actual cost was, but the money that was spent on like Pena and Herrera could possibly, or could most definitely have been spent more wisely. With some players that are already in Scotland that we could have got for a lot cheaper, but again, we didn't know. We were hoping that Pena was going to be a superstar, and so Herrera also, but it's obviously no worked out like that. But it's true what you say. It's disappointing, but the fact that we do now, we are now in control of the merchandise, which this time last year, if we'd have said, in a year's time, it's going to be back in our control, we wouldn't have believed it. So we just need to try and stay positive, and hopefully, there is some more extra sources of income that will come through. I'm just annoyed with the whole merchandise thing again, that they've brought all these strips out, almost halfway through the season, and they're like £50 a pop, which I think is ridiculous. If they'd have sold them at a much cheaper price, they would have sold so many and probably made a hell of a lot more money. But it's silly. But again, we spoke about that in the last pod.
Yep. They've obviously announced when the AGM is going to be, which is the Thursday the 30th of November at the Clyde Auditorium at 10 a.m. So hopefully it's a wee bit more in depth than the last one. I know they were henpecked as to what they could have said because of the Ashley deal the last time, and the Q&A section was quite short as well, so hopefully they're a wee bit more free to speak about things like that. But no doubt he's probably wrote in some sort of non-disclosure clause in the terms of the contract as well. But and the only other bit to cover as well is it was announced in the papers that the old co-creditors are only being offered 4p in every pound, yet the liquidators and law firms are getting over £12 million between them. Yeah,
quite incredible.
So certainly disappointing there.
Yes.
Obviously in relation to that as well, HMRC I think are still the biggest creditor, and yet we don't really see what else they're doing in the world about cracking down on other firms that are using.
Yeah, exactly. So, especially everything that's came to light, with the Paradise Papers and stuff like that with all of this. But again, it's everything is negative for us that way, Derek. But again, it's very disappointing that's all that's came out of it.
Yep. So thankfully it's just a short boardroom section this time. We will now go into the classic match.
Oh, already? Okay.
Manchester, brace yourself. Rangers are coming!
So Dave, what game have you got for us this week?
Well, Derek, I was looking back. It's not actually from too long ago. It was 10 years ago, actually. 10 years ago, it was the 20th of October 2007. And it was a game at Ibrox where we played Celtic. Now, the Rangers lineup for that day was Alan McGregor, Alan Hutton, Carlos Queller, David Weir, Sasa Papach, Lee McCulloch, Barry Ferguson, Kevin Thompson, Charlie Adam, Nacho Novo and Daniel Kuzan. On the bench for Rangers was Stephen Nashame, DeMarcus Beasley, Carol Fye and Stephen Whittaker. The Celtic lineup for that day was Boric, OD, McManus, Caldwell and Naylor, Scott Brown, Snow, Donati, Nakamura, Scott McDonald and Yarasik. Celtic also had on the bench Aidan McGeady and Kennedy, to name a couple. Now, this game, Derek, was really feisty. There was a lot of really bad tackles going in right from the beginning. And I suppose if you had a look at like the players that Celtic had and the likes of Brown, Caldwell, McManus and Donati, these were all sort of really hard guys compared with us when we had Kevin Thompson and Lee McCulloch playing in the midfield as well for Rangers. So there was a lot of really meaty tackles going in. David Weir as well. And Celtic actually started fairly bright in the game. Scott McDonald actually had a really, really good overhead kick which was going right into the bottom corner. This was really early on in the match. It was cleared out from our defence straight to McDonald, who tried an overhead kick. It was going in the bottom corner and Alan McGregor managed to get a fingertip to it to put it just past the post and out for the corner. From that corner though, the sort of dirty side of Scott McDonald, you could see him clearly kicking out at Alan McGregor, clear as day. He kicked him between the legs when they were standing waiting for the corner. He really should have been sent off for that. It wasn't spotted by the referee or anything like that. He got away with it. And after that, there was a lot of pushing and shoving, major sort of handbags at every sort of sign, a dirty tackle, and it was the game at that point was going end to end. Celtic had another chance for a free kick just over the bar. That was after another sort of hard tackle, and then Alan Hutton got sized down as well not long after that, and then Alan McGregor was forced into another save when Scott McDonald had another shot. So McDonald was the sort of the danger man for Celtic. But then on the 27th minute, we were, after that chance, we were getting back into the game. And then on the 27th minute, Rangers opened the score.
Ferguson has a little bit of room. That could be ominous for Celtic. Simon Hutton fell over, got back up. And that's a wicked cross! It's in from Nacho Novo! And Rangers strike first on target.
Start for Nacho Novo, but when you can do that, it doesn't matter. He gets it at the back post, but you have to say it's all down to Alan Hutton. Ferguson picked the ball up in a great aim, and he eventually fed the ball to Hutton. Look, he gets up Hutton, he slips. One thing on his mind, get that ball in the box. O'D doesn't go and attack it. Caldwell lets it go, and Novo, well, he's the one who puts his head on the end of it.
Barry Ferguson, who found Alan Hutton on the right hand side, and he put in an absolutely fantastic cross to the back post, and the two Celtic defenders left it thinking it was going past, but Nacho Novo got in between them with a diving header and put it right into the bottom corner. Absolutely fantastic goal for Nacho Novo. He was great at sort of finding space like that, and it was a great delivery and a great goal by Nacho Novo. And then after that, it was, Rangers were really putting the pressure on, and we really should have scored just minutes after that when Charlie Adam passed the ball to Nacho Novo and he shot it over the bar for point blank range. It really should have at least had it on target for there and forced a save for the goalkeeper, but didn't. Then the tackles again still flying in. Scott Brown, a really late challenge on Papac, again possibly could have been sent off for that. And then Celtic with just a chance right at the end of the game, and McGregor pulls off a really good save there. So into the second half, Celtic were trying to get back into the game. Jarosik had a great chance on the volley and put it well wide. The challenges were still going and it was turning into a really dirty game. And then there was a pretty easy save for McGregor from another low shot from Celtic. But then on the 56th minute, Rangers basically wrapped the game up at that point.
Caldwell clears, only as far as McCulloch. Novo! It's in! Rangers are 2 up! Ferguson in the thick of it, and Celtic's day goes from bad to worse.
Well, it's all because Rangers are on the front. Gave Rangers the impetus to get forward, but once the ball dropped to Barry Ferguson, he sold Kumkuza into a dangerous area. Doesn't get clear well enough. It just drops for Ferguson. He turns, and it's instinctive. He gets a bit lucky when it drops, but just look how aware he is of where that ball is. And he nips in between the two young centre-halves, and that's a great finish.
Daniel Kuzan with a long cross into the box. It was headed away by the Celtic defence as far as Lee McCulloch at the edge of the box. Now McCulloch had a sort of half shot, which didn't get a lot of power at it, but it found its way to Barry Ferguson, who was in front of him, and Ferguson, fantastic composure, looked up and just prodded the ball past Boric into the net to make it 2-0 to Rangers. And at that point, Celtic were then just getting reduced to long crosses into the box. And then just after that, we should definitely have had a handball. Barry Ferguson picks up the ball on the edge of the box, his own box, run past at least 4 of the Celtic players right through into midfield. A great ball to Daniel Kuzan, who crosses the ball in from the left, and it clear as day comes off of the hand of the Celtic defender. So I mean, we really should have had a penalty then as well to make it 3-0. But then on the 78th minute, we did get the penalty that we deserved in this game.
Adam still has it. Oh, Charlie Adam goes down. Penalty! The Van der Sloot's challenge. Penalty for Rangers, and a chance to well and truly finish off Celtic.
Charlie Adam, he picked up the ball on the right hand side of the box. Fantastic drop of the shoulder and gets past the Celtic midfielder Snow, who put in a really clumsy challenge on Adam, brings him down. It was a clear penalty to Rangers, no complaints at all. Charlie Adam was desperate to take it, but wee Nacho grabbed the ball off him, placed it on the spot.
It is Nacho Novo. It is 3-0. Novo, a man for the occasion, and this is one mighty occasion. Rangers have walloped Celtic. Bring on a proper title race.
Stroked it low into the bottom right corner. Absolutely fantastic. 3-0 to Rangers, cruising. And after that, just absolutely tremendous play. It was like a masterclass of passes for Rangers. I think we had about 20 passes in a row, and this ended up in Barry Ferguson nutmegging Gary Caldwell, who couldn't do anything, and pulled them back, for a free kick to Rangers. Again, it was just fantastic football. More handbags at the end of the match. And then right at the end of the game, it really should have been 4, because Rangers did score, and it was classed as offside, and it clearly wasn't when you seen back. The fourth official put his flag up, but it really shouldn't have been. DeMarcus Beasley had shot, Boric saved the shot, it rebounded straight to Lee McCulloch, who scored, tapped it into the goal. You could see quite clearly he was in line with the defenders when the shot was made, but it was ruled offside. So, and the significant thing about that goal, if Lee McCulloch had scored it, was that goal would have put us top of the league on goal difference, because we were 3 goals behind Celtic at that point. And if we'd have scored that one other goal, it would have put us top of the league at that point, Derek, but it didn't. But anyway, if you get the chance to go back, go and have a look at it. Some meaty tackles in there, some great goals, and some fantastic players on show.
Yep, I watched it back before we started this podcast, and what a fantastic game it was. And,
yep.
As you said, very meaty. All the players were fighting for it, and it's something that, I think it's the last team we've had that actually knew, every single player knew what it meant to play for us. Something we're completely lacking just now, I think. And at that point, little did we know what was to come in that season. I mean, a UEFA Cup final, going for the quadruple.
I know. And cheated out it again, Derek.
Aye.
And I don't mince my words by that. I've got very strong opinions about what happened there. We were completely cheated out of that. The game at Parkhead, we were drawn 1-1-1, and they got all that injury time for nowhere and scored from it. And the fact that we weren't allowed to rearrange any games, even although we were in the UEFA Cup final, and the amount of injuries and suspensions that we got, and absolutely nothing went our way at the end of there. But yes, it was a remarkable season, Derek, and it's a season that I'll look back on really fondly. Even although we didn't win the league, we ended up with a cup, and did we win the Scottish Cup as well season?
That's the thing, everybody forgets we still won the 2 domestic trophies, and we were two lots of 90 minutes away from winning 2 other trophies. So
exactly, it was a great season, Derek. And if you think of the amount of games that we played, I think it was almost sort of 70 matches that we played, and if it wasn't for the fact of key players getting injured at certain times and all of that as well, it was totally against us. And the strip that we wore that season, Derek, is one of my all-time favourites as well. I absolutely love that strip also. But very, very unlucky in that season. But as you say, it was still successful for the fact that we did so well, and we still won 2 cups as well. So
yes, we will leave it there, and we will have another one for you the next time.
Yes.
So we'll go into the news.
From ITN, the ITV News at 10 with Trevor McDonald.
So as ever, a few bits and pieces we've got to cover here. Some Rangers, some not. First thing is probably the biggest thing is there's a new scouting team being put in place by the director of football. He says he's been kind of quietly working away, not saying too much, and he certainly seems to have done the business here. He's put Andy Scolding as the head of scouting. He's done the job for the England national team, Fulham, Liverpool, Valencia. So
quality,
nosy stuff. Bomber Brown is in place in scouting, who's going to be looking at the domestic and the rest of the UK. Dave Swanwick, who has previously been at Aston Villa as their European scouting manager, and Billy McLaren, who's been our academy scout for a number of years. Somebody called Dave Stevenson will replace Billy McLaren, and he's come in from the SFA, and Rob Clarkson is going to be coming later this month from Man City. So a lot of these people have come in from certainly lucrative jobs.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yep. So obviously scouting is what it is. It's something we've desperately needed for a good number of years. Celtic are probably at least 10 years ahead of us in their scouting network, so it might take a wee bit it probably will take a wee bit of time to see the fruits of that, but it's a step in the right direction.
It's a start, Derek. It's a start.
Yep. Lee Wallace likely to be out until the new year at least. He's just halfway through his recuperation. He's still got the next half to go, so given his form over the last maybe year and a half, it's not the worst of thing, especially when Declan John's been playing so well. Yep. Obviously we've talked about Sports Direct, and again we've got stuff to say about how much of a joke they are, as they launched a new cuddly toy on the Rangers website, their own website, had the Rangers badge in it, and they called it Timmy.
Yeah, I've seen that. Do you think that's a bit of a piss take, Derek, or do you just think that they basically don't have a clue?
Either or, it's just fucking ridiculous. It's not knowing your audience, and that's why we're better off without them, because they just really, you're right, they don't have a clue. It's now been rebranded something even worse, mind you, Team Bear.
What's it called?
Team Bear.
Team?
No, team as in the football team.
Oh, Team Bear, right, okay.
What kind of word is him?
I don't know, that's what that sounded like.
Just another reason to say why Sports Direct are an absolute joke. I mean, I've tweeted a picture a good while ago about a clock, which was meant to be Rangers, but it had the Chelsea badge in it. So, but somebody's been into the Ibrox megastore and they've had a Rangers branded T-shirt, but they've had Portsmouth FC on the inside collar. So it's quite clearly they're just no actually looking at what they're printing.
Yeah.
It's even worse that it's actually got past the staff in the shop. Again, they're Sports Direct staff, so...
Exactly. Well, Derek, I told you the story about me trying to get an age, a certain age top for my son, and I could only find sort of age 13 to 14 or age 14, but it turns out that's exactly the same size as what it would be. The top that I was looking for, the size smaller, and not one of them could tell me that for a long, long time. So, it doesn't surprise me.
No. Next thing is meant to be a great time for him, but Ryan Jack was called up to the Scotland squad for the friendly against Holland. Not before time, certainly, because he's been playing bloody good for us this year. He was strangely played in right back position, which is not his position, never has been. And Malcolm Mackay before issued a plea with the fans for the fans not to boo him. Well, what happened? He got booed.
Yeah, you knew it was going to happen, Derek. It was getting played in Aberdeen. You just knew it was going to happen. It's sad that they're doing that with their own players playing for the national team, but you just knew that there were going to be morons that were there. But going back to him playing at right back, Derek, I think he actually played quite well at right back. I think he had quite a good game there. So
I never watched the game, but
I didn't either. But I think he played quite well. Just going by the reports that I heard. But again, Derek, it's a lot of absolute morons out there who are putting this as a Rangers v the rest, and there's a lot of fans that are getting turned off. It never used to be like that, and I think the only way it's going to change is the more and more Rangers players that are in the Scotland team that are playing regularly. But you just knew it was going to happen. Absolute morons, and you could hear a wee Apparently you could hear some wee boys who sounded about 12 shouting, get him off, he's a Hun or whatever, but it was to be expected, Derek, but he played well. I really didn't give two shits about certain folk. They need to fucking grow up, and I think that's why there's a lot of Rangers fans that have nothing to do with the Tartan Army. Don't get me wrong, Derek, I like to see my country do well, and I would watch if it was on the TV, but I certainly wouldn't class myself as being a member of the Tartan Army. But I know you've got absolutely no interest in international football anyway, but it's quite sad, but hopefully that'll just be a one-off and there'll be more Rangers players on the team, because it's good for the club as well that we are getting players back in the international team again, and hopefully we'll get more in there.
Yeah, I mean, let's clear up this myth that some people in the media have been portraying. It wasn't Aberdeen fans. They were there to see Scotland. They were booing a player in a Scotland shirt. So it was a Scottish player they were booing. So the myth is a complete let-off, the fact that, they played in Aberdeen. He's a former Aberdeen player now playing for Rangers. It's the same with when Lee Wallace got booed at Easter Road. It was blamed on Hibs fans. Don't give me that bullshit. They're there to see Scotland. That player, these players were in Scotland tops. They're playing for the Scotland team. It just so happens they play for Rangers as well, which is quite clearly why they're getting booed by Scotland fans. So it's again the reason why I don't really give a shit about Scotland. I wish it was different, but under certain different circumstances I would support them. But certainly when you've got this level of venom against our players in particular, not for me, but each to their own.
Derek, are you a Rangers fan?
Never.
Do you want to know what I think is funny though, Derek, is you remember a few seasons ago that Ian Black got a cap for Scotland when he was playing for Rangers and he never got booed. Why was that? I mean, I would fucking boo him if he was playing.
I think he did get booed though, did he not?
No, I don't know. No, he didn't. No, he honestly didn't. He didn't. But it's just quite sad, Derek, but there you go.
Aye, he did get booed.
Did he?
Scotland debutant Ian Black unfazed by home fans booing.
All right.
Yeah.
I can't remind him that. I thought he didn't get booed at all.
Aye. Ian Black jeered on Scotland debut.
Oh, there you go.
But you're right, I might have booed him as well. We've got a wee story about him actually as well. Also,
I thought you'd been getting some decorating done.
Well, we need some done, but I don't know what his quality's like. Certainly if it's anything like his pitch quality.
Oh, great, it's got to be better, surely.
Also got to mention is Aidan Wilson has signed a 1-year extension that will keep him at the club till 2020, so always good to see the youngsters, the promising youngsters as well, sticking in with the club.
Yes.
Yep. A couple of bits and other pieces. As I mentioned, we've got a story about Ian Black. After he claimed in September that he was capable of playing for any team outside of the England Premier League. However, he's just signed for non-league side Chorley on a non-contract terms until the end of the season.
And see if the Chorley manager's listening, just make sure he doesn't shoot foot outside the box, because, if you're struggling for money and, you need to keep all your footballs and stuff like that, you've got absolutely fucking no chance of finding them again.
Yes, so hopefully he plays well. Watch this, he'll be standout player or something like that.
Well, he's surely got to be a standout player for somebody, Derek.
Non-league player of the year. He's found his level. Not his spirit level.
This is Jolly FM, coming in your ears.
Oh dear. The banter years.
As well, you alluded to it earlier on, the SFA are deciding about if they should renew the lease for Hampden, which runs out in 2020, I believe. Obviously, there's been a lot of talk about Murrayfield getting used, and certainly the Scottish Rugby Union have welcomed it if they decide not to renew the lease for Hampden. So I think it's what most fans want, I think. Yeah,
I think, I don't know if it was you that spoke about it before, Derek. We could see maybe a plan being hatched by certain people on the other side of the city that possibly to use their stadium. I really hope that doesn't work out that way, because we've got absolutely world-class stadium sitting there in Murrayfield. As I say, I've never been before, Derek, but I know a lot of guys that I work with that are big rugby fans who have been sat in every stand in that stadium, and he says there's not one part of that stadium that you don't get a fantastic view. The stadium, and anybody that's been at Hampden over the last few years, if you're sitting anywhere in the first six rows at Hampden in that old stand, you just get up because the view's terrible. Hampden's a shithole, Derek, apart from the main stand. The main stand's cracking, but the rest of Hampden is an absolute shithole. And I would welcome open arms a move to Murrayfield. Everybody goes on about the history and the tradition and all of that, but to make Hampden work, you would have to go up and spend hundreds of millions of pounds to completely redo the old stand that's there. It was put in the cheap, Derek, and that's what it is. It's a cheap, nasty stadium apart from that main stand. I say the main stand's cracking. I've been in it, I've had a tour. It's very impressive, but that's all it's got going for it, and I think it's too far gone now, and I just think they should just give up and move to Murrayfield. That's my feeling.
Yeah. Based on Hampden, I think I said it in the last podcast as well. You mentioned if you're in the first six rows or behind the goals, it's bad. And I've only been to 2 games at Hampden. The second one was just the Motherwell game there, and I was sat further back in the other stand, the north stand, and I thought it was brilliant. You've got a really good view there, but obviously, you've got to cater for everyone around the stadium, and not everyone can get the same view. So
it's no great getting to the stadium either, Derek. It's a bloody nightmare. It's a nightmare for parking. It's everything. And then, on Murrayfield, you've basically got the tram stop right there, and there's trams all the time. So, getting to and from the game at Murrayfield would be so much easier as well. It's just, I think it's a no-brainer, to be perfectly honest with you.
And if they actually were looking to upgrade Scottish football, they should do what the Germans do, is provide, if you've got a ticket for the game, that's your ticket for your local transport in terms of trains, or in this case tram. So if you wanted to get from the city centre or Haymarket, you've got a free tram ticket right to the stadium.
Yeah. It's the same, with as you say, with the train station as well as the tram station. The train station's right there as well. It's absolutely perfect, and I don't know if you've ever been through the sort of park and ride thing as well at Ingleson, Derek. They've got a huge car park. You get thousands of cars in there, and you basically just go in and pay, and it's a 10-minute tram journey for there also. So absolutely perfect. It's all there, it's all set up. I really don't see why they just don't go for it, but I hope there's no underhand tactics getting used for another state stadium to get used instead of Hampden, apart from that one, Derek.
I don't know what you'll be meaning.
Well, I think everybody knows what I'm meaning, but we'll wait and see.
Yep.
The fact that the RFU, the Scottish, the RFU have came out and said, we would welcome the move. They can't use that excuse because they tried that before. They said that the Scottish rugby bosses didn't want football there, but the fact that they've come out and said that they would welcome a move, they can't use that excuse now. So I will wait and see.
Yep. Right, and the next one is former player Maurice Ross, at the age of 36, has landed a 2-year deal managing Faroe Islands team Vikingar.
Yes.
So certainly,
and they were playing in the Champions League preliminary matches as well. So there you go, quality.
Excellent front.
Yep.
Bayern Munich as well used Auchenhowie to train after their game with Celtic in the Champions League. So we've got a history of doing that. I quite like that.
Quite funny as well. Yep.
And speaking of Bayern Munich, as we mentioned before. Before the game, Dermot Desmond was caught by our old pal, Mark Daly, on his way to the stadium, and it was about the Paradise Papers. Obviously, Swiss private airline company appeared to have been using a legal tax avoidance system. Mark Daly questions him on his way. Really didn't answer anything, but he did write a letter to Mark Daly after, and his opening line was, "Are you a Rangers supporter?" They just know no bounds, do they?
It's just great that we can get mentioned even when it's absolutely nothing to do with us, Derek. No. It's hilarious. And I think really if he'd have done his homework, he would have seen quite clearly that Mark Daly is not a Rangers supporter.
No. And you look at the Twitter reaction from the Celtic fans afterwards. Mark Daly is their new saint. When he was doing the Rangers stuff.
Yeah.
And now he's enemy number one, and he's kind of pointed that out to them, and it's actually quite funny. And in fairness, good on Mark Daly for actually batting them back with this, because he was half baked with his Rangers stuff quite clearly, and this one, he's just questioning somebody who's using that illegal tax avoidance system.
Yeah.
And do you know something? I don't have any issues with his company using it. I mean, at the end of the day, it was a Swiss company, so it never affected the British government tax anyway, apart if he's used it that way. So we're getting into the...
Allegedly.
Yes, allegedly.
Yes.
But, so I've, we said this all during the Rangers thing, and I've certainly... It's a moral choice. If if somebody came to anybody and says, here's a legal way to reduce your tax liabilities, of course everybody's going to take it. So don't give me this bullshit that you wouldn't. And it's the same for every company. And morally, yeah, it might be wrong, but if it's legal, it's legal. Simple as. But it's how the Celtic fans can turn around and try and say, oh, this has nothing to do with British football, this has nothing to do with this. Well, I'm sorry, but it's got everything to do with this sporting integrity they keep battling about, because it's been well documented. Desmond has personally funded Celtic players coming to Parkhead, and how much is he actually funding Brendan Rodgers' payoff to Liverpool and things like that? There's the sporting integrity there.
The thing that I thought was funny was that somebody put a thing on, but just think about all those Swiss schools and hospitals. Which I thought was very good. But as you say, Derek, I didn't give two shits about all that thing, but the fact that the first thing that he had to mention was Rangers, I thought was fantastic. Again, especially with Mark Daly, that's hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
Oh man, they're some bunch.
Exactly.
Right. Salford City goalkeeper Max Cocombe sent off for urinating during game against Bradford Park Avenue.
Yes, I've seen that.
New Zealand.
I didn't actually see him peeing, but I've seen the story.
I'm glad. New Zealand under-23 international dismissed 3 minutes from time in bizarre circumstances. The club, Salford City, the club owned by Manchester's famous class of '92, had their goalkeeper sent off on Saturday afternoon for urinating during the game against Bradford Park Avenue. He only joined them at the start of the season, and he was shown a straight red card with 3 minutes remaining.
And Derek, the one thing that I'll say is it's maybe a good job that me and you weren't professional footballers, because we would get sent off on a regular basis.
Oh, the referee's taking the piss there.
Oh,
you knew that was coming.
Exactly.
Right. And the last story here. Cold and calculating prostitute aged 21 shot a man aged 36 twice in the head because he was performing oral sex wrong and she didn't know how to tell him. And then she fled with his wallet and spent 12 grand of his money.
She spent 12 grand?
Yep. He survived but was found unresponsive in his home a short time afterwards. She racked up bills of 12 grand before she was arrested this week. She's alleged to have told the police she shot him because he was not performing oral sex properly. The woman allegedly then told them to contact one of her other customers to pay her $1 million bond.
Quality.
Which she never paid, so...
Oh dear. Again, where do you get all these stories from, Derek?
You know, I've never been that bad in bed that I've actually had to get shot or anything like that, so...
So you've been told anyway.
So, that kind of wraps it up for this episode. Obviously, we have our Twitter, which is @iReadyPod. We've got our Facebook account, which is facebook.com/iReadyPod. We've also got our website as well, which is iReadyPodcast.wordpress.com. So if you can check out them, give us feedback, listen to the podcast, which you're obviously doing if you're at this stage already, and let us know if there's anything else that we can help you with, be it money-wise or oral sex tips.
I don't know where you were going there, Derek. Oh dear. No, we've been talking, and you've put a few tweets out about how we can get the pod sort of either more accessible or, you know, bring something to it that would bring us more listeners and stuff. Like we said, Derek, we've never done this to go out and make money or get listeners, but it would be nice to get a few more listeners to us, and I think it does come down to, you asked what the problem was, I think it comes down to the fact that we are taking sort of 3 and 4 weeks sometime to bring a pod out, where we should be trying to get it a bit more regularly. So we are going to try and do that, make the pod slightly shorter, hopefully, and try and get more people involved, get a few sort of guests on as well. We've been saying it for a long time, but I think we're going to actually do it, so watch this space.
Yes, we're going to eat our roughage and make ourselves more regular.
Exactly. I don't think I've got any problems in that department, actually, Derek, to be honest with you, but there you go.
Yes, so that kind of about wraps up. So thanks for listening, and see you next time.
Yes, take care everyone, and hopefully another 3 points on Saturday.
Bye. Dunces cap on.